Good evening, YouTube. How y'all doing this evening? Good evening, funny ones. How y'all doing this evening? I told y'all Funny Bones gonna be doing a video this evening, and I'm just gonna do a recap of what I've been seeing and reporting. And like I told y'all before, Mr. Diddy is just the beginning, people. I've been telling y'all. The first thing I see is Diddy Ibiza Freakoff tapes confiscated. I told y'all they still confiscating stuff. Let me ask y'all a question. If all this stuff was over, Diddy has gotten sentenced for that trial. He's gotten sentenced. Ask yourself one question. Why are they still seizing his stuff? Why are they still going through his stuff? If there's no more indictments coming, if it's over with, if it's done, why are they still collecting evidence, people? You got to ask yourself that. Why? I'm telling you why. It's some more stuff coming down the pipe from Mr. Combs. I'm telling y'all. The writing is on the wall. I always tell y'all that. The writing is on the wall. They are not done with Diddy. Period. I'm telling you. And I did this. Y'all go check out my live stream this morning. I told you I was still live streaming every morning. I did that this morning. I was talking about this little girl, Ava, that Diddy adopted. Okay, now it's coming out that it was some bad stuff done to that little girl. And she's saying that Diddy sold her. And she's coming out with some strong accusations against Diddy and his two sons. Yeah, Justin and Christian. The two demon seeds are just like him. It's in the DNA, people. It's in your DNA. I'm telling you. And then it's already in your DNA, and then who influencing? Your own dad. Showing you how to do it. Bring you into the business of how to do it. And then y'all killed me talking about y'all feel sorry for your kids. How? Why? They're part of the operation. Sad to say that. That's why I did a video earlier. You don't know what your kids do when they're not in your care. They're not in your sight. You can't say what they'll do. Prime example. Especially if their father's doing it with them and showing them how to do it. That's even worse. And then he got that from his mom. So what are role models at? There isn't any. Not in the Combs family. The Combs family tree needs to be pruned. And they're pruning it right now. So yeah, the little girl comes out and she says she's talking to the feds. And I believe it. I believe it. Can't help but believe it. And then you got stuff on here about Steve Harvey saying that Diddy trapped him. They've been had a relationship for years. And I knew they had a relationship, but we know what extent it was to now. We know that. And their forfeit, their Diddy stuff is in forfeiture right now. His mansions and all that stuff that they was not going to initially siege. Watch to see, don't they siege all this. I told y'all they're going to siege everything Diddy's own. Diddy's, anything of value that Diddy has amassed will be taken in the end. Mark my words on that. Mark my words on that. And then that guy, Cardello, that sued Diddy for $1 million. Derek Cardello, whatever his name is. He's got a lot of stuff that's going to come out about Diddy. And a lot of stuff. This stuff coming out. It ain't no coincidence, people, that this stuff coming back up. I've been telling y'all. They got too much evidence. Too many testimonies against Diddy. Diddy been doing this stuff a long time, people. And now that these people are not afraid of Diddy, of his wrath, his direct wrath, you're going to see some more people speaking out. of what he's done to them. Because, like I told y'all, Diddy's a horrible human being. Horrible if he is a human being. You know, and I question that. So, you, it's a whole lot of. And then Jaguar Wright was speaking out about Bad Boy investors. All the investors in Bad Boys are dead except for that guy that's in prison, Cardello, who is one of the investors in Bad Boy, and he's entitled to 49% of their earnings. Diddy himself had went and visited that guy, and guess what he signed up? Brother Love. So people would know it was him. He went to visit that guy in prison. What would he do that for? I told y'all, old folks, if you're not guilty, you wouldn't look guilty. You wouldn't have no reason to. At all. Trying to get that man to be quiet. That's what he's doing. Trying to plant evidence on that man to keep him in prison. That's what they're doing. And it's coming to light. It's coming to light. But the ex-mobster that has been in prison said Diddy is in bad trouble. Really bad trouble. And it's saying Diddy loses in court as Jay-Z gets pulled into the bombshell. I always told y'all that Jay-Z is not going to be too far behind Diddy. I told y'all. Not going to be too far. And I touched on his conditions, people, after his release. That is the thing that's worrying Diddy, and rightfully so, because he's going to be on a strict lifestyle when he gets out. It's going to be just like he's still in prison. I'm telling you. They're not going to show no leniency toward Diddy. Whatever probation officer he gets, they're going to assign him probably the most experienced and the worst one at the same time. I'm telling y'all, Diddy's hard time begins now. Right now. So, it's not looking good for Mr. Diddy. And I just think Diddy don't have no idea yet, but the reality is setting in that he probably is going to rot in prison. I'm telling y'all, if the government had it way, Diddy has seen his last step of freedom. I'm telling you, that's what they're aiming for. If they still gather evidence against him and the trial is over, people, ain't no moving forward. And then I see on here that say his attorney revealed that Diddy won't leave his cell. He's terrified. Begging for mercy in there. Begging for mercy from who? Huh? Where your buddies at? Where Jay-Z at? Where Oprah? Where the rest of them at? They left the country. They took immediate crash vacation. Trying to get out of these headlines, scared that a photographer or a reporter will find out where they're at and start questioning them. So they left the country. Because they know if they don't say anything, when those reporters asking them questions, they're going to look guilty, as they are. You look guilty leaving. You're going to be, if you're guilty, you're going to look guilty. So, like I said, people, his attorneys say he begging in there. That's just beginning. He ain't even left MDC yet, and he begging. And that notion of going to Fort Dix, and it was going to be a paradise. Fort Dix is not a paradise either. And they got word that the inmates are waiting on him. They got word that he won't come there. So anything they can make a shank out of, toothbrush, railing on a bed, whatever they can make sharp, they doing so for the soon to be guest. But the judge struck that down so they can stop all the shank making, because they ain't gonna be able to use it. They ain't gonna be in New Jersey. Diddy gonna be over there close to MDC. Because Mr. Diddy got a lot of trials to attend. I'm telling you. Y'all don't see it yet, but I'm telling you. Because the judge really sentence Diddy for the rest of his life. It was those 50 months. Because he knows within 50 months they had way more evidence on Diddy. He did it long enough for them to just keep getting evidence. That's why they keep trying to seize all this stuff. People that got a list of stuff they seizing from Diddy right now. Right now. As we speak. I told y'all the federal government don't stop. Once they get their hooks in you, you're not getting them out. So like I said, I told y'all this before. And I'm going to tell you again. Diddy did not know what he was doing. He was messing with the feds. Unlimited resource people, y'all gonna hear me say that. It does not matter who is the defendant and how much money he has accumulated. They will take every bit of it. That's El Chapo. El Chapo had to pay $13.6 billion to government. I told you that's why he in there eating stale tuna and bologna that's 5 different colors. I'm telling y'all, they don't care who you are. And the more successful people, they try to break them the hardest and the fastest. In there, your celebrity works against you. Against you. Except for the commissary. You can afford a little bit more commissary. So he might make some friends that's real hungry. Ain't been able to eat nothing out of the commissary in a little while. You know. He'll make those friends until he tick them off. Start staring at them from the midsection down. You know, hey, the tendencies don't just leave you. You perverted, you're going to stay perverted. And that's one of the things I say, ain't no therapy for that. Either you want or you're not. Plain and simple. So, it is what it is, people. Diddy is in trouble. And then I see Tyler Perry. He's next. Kristen Keys already had accused him and all this stuff, and this other guy accusing him. And Tyler Perry is in bad trouble. He should have settled with that guy. I'm telling y'all, he should have settled with that guy. But the guy was asking for $260 million. I guess the guy figured his career's on the downside. You know, ain't no upside. So he got to get his money for being made to be felt uncomfortable by Mr. Perry. You know, I want to get paid for my pain and suffering. You know, it is what it is. So, you know, Tyler Perry gonna be in the same shoes. T.D. Jakes exposing Diddy, darkest secrets. And Diddy forced him. Diddy ain't forced you all those many times. What about when Diddy wasn't there? You were doing the same acts to other people. Diddy wasn't even there. Who forced you to do that then? It definitely wasn't the Lord. It was the other one. The one down below. So, Little Rod entered his evidence in court. And I'm telling y'all right now, that is going to turn criminal. Him and Miss KK, Christina Corum, y'all can say goodbye to her too. I'm telling you. I'm telling you what's going to happen to Miss KK. She's going to find herself in somewhere she's going to feel like a cheap stamp. They're going to lick her, stick her, and send her on her way. I'm telling you what's going to be in the future for Miss KK. And y'all were asking me about all these victims and all the testimonies and stuff. I told y'all in due time. The government got their time when they strike. They just like a rattlesnake. They time their strikes. They time it. And Diddy and KK is the little mice. They're already in target. They're already in strike range. So people, like I said, if you don't want to do the time, please don't do the crime. Certain crimes that you do, you're not going to get away with. And then you blessed to get away with it for a little while. Then you push the envelope, try to get away with it for decades. Some people are smart enough to do that with coercion and all that stuff. You know, You're going to hear about the Kardashians' names going to come up with Diddy. You're going to hear about a lot of people's names are going to come up with Diddy. I'm telling you, it's going to, some of our favorite people, like Snoop Dogg and all these people, they are going to be implicated in a lot of ways, people. It was a lot of stuff hidden back then. A lot of stuff. And it's coming to light. What's done in the dark, eventually is going to come to light. That's a fact. So, like I said, you got people like 50 Cent, Cat Williams, Jaguar, Wright, Gene Deal. You got all these people that know the inside scoop. And I believe them 90% of the time. I'm telling y'all. Because before it's over, we're going to know who all involved with everything. I'm telling you. But the thing that gets me, one of the things, is that Diddy is going to be ordered to get a 9-to-5 job. That's humiliating. The judge humiliated him with that. He can't get no job in the music industry. It's going to have to be a menial job. Meaning it's going to have to be a job that a high schooler can get. It's going to be a job that Diddy is not going to like. He can't get no job being no security guard, nothing like that. So it's going to be something that Mr. Diddy going to have to use his hand and feet and legs and all that stuff. So Diddy is going to be made to work. Like I was telling y'all, touching on earlier, y'all think, what job would Diddy qualify for? What job that they will feel comfortable with Diddy doing except manual labor, except something that gonna occupy his time, his hands and his feet and his whole body, meaning he gonna have to move, and it's gonna be something that he's not gonna like. I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all know those people that have side of the road, those convicts, they be picking up trash with those sticks. Don't be surprised if Diddy don't be on the sideline, be one of them on the interstate or wherever y'all live. Diddy might be one of those. He might be collecting trash. You know, I don't know if they'll have him driving the trucks, but you know, if they still got somewhere where they got manual pickup, like 2 guys on the back picking up your trash can, Diddy might be one of those. You know, he might be a short or cook somewhere. Something like that. You know, I just don't see him being able to work at Walmart somewhere that sells baby oil. That's a no-go too. He can't go nowhere that's got baby oil on the shelves. He ain't gonna be able to go in there. So people, it's a lot of stuff that Mr. Diddy didn't know what he was getting into. But once they find out, and they've been investigating him for years, people, that's what people don't understand. These people been investigated for years. All these people that's coming up in the headline now, they've been investigating these people. They just couldn't put it together. But now, thanks to Mr. Diddy's evidence, the same evidence he was using to blackmail people, they're using it against him and his buddies. Amazing how that happened, people. Karma is a you-know-what. I'm telling you, every time. So, I told you, when the man upstairs get tired of looking at this, he'll step in. And it seems like to me, he ain't stepping in, he tap dancing. He ain't stepping. He tap dancing. Because I'm telling you, all these people, they're going after everybody. Diddy did tell Jay-Z one important thing. Run. Because they are coming after all of us. He was right. They're coming. So people, I saw this. Y'all get a video a thumbs up. Y'all like the video if y'all like it. Y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell to all content. And Funny Bone is going to keep y'all in the loop. I told y'all this. I'm going to keep you in the loop. And I'm going to keep you up to date and informed on all this stuff. So, Funny Bone's always watching. Funny Bone always thinking about the funny ones, the funniest. What story he can bring y'all. And, you know, how he can make your morning or evening a little bit better. So people, Funny Bone, love y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one, which will be real soon. Probably be in the morning, our podcast again. Y'all start checking out my morning podcast, because I'll be doing that mostly every morning. So Funny Bone, love y'all. Have a good night. Peace.